When bears want honey, they leave claw marks behind on the trees they've climbed. So we know in which trees to look for honey.
Once a hive has been located, the hard and often painful work can begin. Today it's the turn of Gunabandhya, Chief Wania's son, to run the gauntlet of the irate bees. He stuns the bees with a bundle of smoking leaves before sticking his hand into the hollow. This particular species of bee is extremely aggressive, but the prize tucked away in the hollow is worth a few angry stings. His spectators watch on with little sympathy as the precious combs are carefully hauled out. Although the group can now relax and enjoy the feast, Vaddas must still remain on their guard during this time of year.
There are some places in the forest where you are warned to avoid because the bears are there now. There are signs in the forest, certain smells, tree damage, places where the bear scent marks, even by the tone of their calls. We are taught at an early age to look out for these signs. But if a Vadda still happens to come face to face with a bad-tempered bear, there is one last tactic they employ to protect themselves. There is a tree that grows in our forests that we call porter. We use its bark for medicine, but the bears don't like its smell. During these times, we carry a pole cut from a porter branch, and if a bear should attack, we threaten the bear with it and shout a mantra to scare its spirit.
This ancient and uneasy relationship between Vadda and bear has been nurtured over countless centuries. But when outsiders start to encroach into the forest, that's when serious problems begin. Many national parks in Sri Lanka are now surrounded by farmland. Punchi Banda and his family grow rice on a 5-acre plot of land. Ironically, they were relocated here several years ago, after their previous farm was destroyed by elephants. But for Punchi Banda, moving here was like being thrown out of the proverbial frying pan and into the fire.
I was crossing a stream at the edge of my farm 2 years ago. The forest is close by, so I collect firewood there. As I crossed over onto the other side, I heard loud growls behind me. I turned to see a bear running towards me. As it attacked, I held up my hand to protect myself, but it was too fast. It clawed my face, and I fell backwards. As I fell, I noticed 2 cubs hiding at the bank of the stream where I had just crossed. This was a mother bear protecting her young. I was lucky. She became distracted and I got up and ran to the nearest tree. I was up in that tree for the rest of the day and the whole night while she circled below me.
While Punchi Banda eventually hopes to be settled in a safer part of the countryside, others venture into bear country knowingly. bears are particularly prized for their fat, which is still used in native medicine. These were well-known facts to Gamini as he ventured into the forest 3 years ago, on a day much like any other. Little did he realize how the events of that day would change his life. When a poacher enters a forest, especially a protected one, his motives are clear from the very start. Gamini was a poacher, and a very successful one, making a small fortune from animal meat, bone and skins, all illegally obtained within the sanctuary. Like others of his trade, Gamini was using a well-known trail and knew exactly what he was looking for.
I came into the forest to cut wood, and then suddenly 2 bears leapt on me and attacked my face. I lost consciousness, but my friend found me. He rescued me and carried me to the hospital.
Wildlife authorities believed that he was actually trying to catch a bear cub and was attacked by its mother. Gamini's face was torn away, and local doctors transplanted skin grafts from his back over his exposed skull. Their main concern? To keep him alive. Now an invalid and entirely dependent on his family, Gamini's poaching days are over. The Vaddas are well aware of the repercussions of unnecessarily harming an animal.
There are many animals that are fierce. Elephants, leopards, bears, they are the most fierce. But the Vaddas share the same forests as all of them. Do you see us attacking them or trying to kill them? If an animal feels threatened, or if it sees its young being threatened, then it will attack.
As the boundaries between the wilderness and human society become more indistinct, the void between forest dwellers like the Vaddas and opportunists like Gamini grows even wider. Today, there are many more like Gamini who see the potential wealth to be reaped from the forest. For all their blind fury, even sloth bears are helpless against this tide of humanity. Today, they number less than 300 in Sri Lanka, earning them the fateful title of the country's most endangered mammal. The Vaddas have noticed the bear's decline.
When I was a child, they were all over here. The bears have a sweet tooth. We used to watch them feeding on fruits and flowers. But a lot of those trees are gone. Now there are farms. The bears are disappearing. Maybe they've gone into the mountains.